Baltimore Ravens. They left in the middle of a cold night in 1984, but the Colts are back, and we're underway in Baltimore. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. They go play action with Jackson. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And the Colts are going to take possession of the football. I'm not sure that you can say that the rain caused that interception, but look, it's clear that throwing the football is going to be tough in these conditions.
No doubt about it, and different quarterbacks handle it different ways. Some guys think the rain isn't a big deal, but wind affects them a little bit more. But you have to wonder, will these conditions hold scoring down? Are we going to have like a 9-6 type of a game? And then the pressure goes on the punters, who often hold for field goal attempts. Can they handle the snap and get the ball down so they can kick it?
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They go to the ground again with Taylor. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage here on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And that is no good. Oh, he missed it just wide of the upright, and this will remain a scoreless game.
I don't care who you are. 60 yards is a very ambitious attempt. Hard to make even in practice in the best of conditions. And now, worst of all, you give the other guys the ball to start their drive at midfield.
They'll run on 1st down. Boom. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
On 2nd down now. Boom. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd. Now Jackson. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And he will have a Ravens 1st down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches. The Ravens hit 3-7 now in the year. But they come in losers of 2 straight, so trying to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like they've been a little bit unlucky in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here.
And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
This is Lazard with a catch out left. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Alan Lazard, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Justin Tucker for the extra point. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they were in field goal range last time out but couldn't connect.
It's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
Second down, another run with Taylor. And he stopped immediately there. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but from the spot, actually no gain. So third and long. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play. They're holding to no gain. Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you're coming off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession, it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
On is the punter Charlton now as he's able to get this one away. This is taken at the 18. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began, thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Jackson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. first down. Prescott. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And the Ravens will take over here at their own 12-yard line. Charles, that makes now 5 interceptions and not even 5 quarters. Remember, he threw 4 picks last week.
And this turns into a tough situation because a lot of fans, the first thing is, oh, well, we need to change quarterbacks. This is your guy. This is your elite player. You can't just take him out like that. If I'm the coach, I make a little joke and say, you know something, big guy? We're going to change the football. So it's obvious that's the problem. It's not you. Keep firing.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. On second down, a run with Dobbins. And not much here as he'll get it to the 11, maybe the 12-yard line. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going into the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
On 3rd down, Jackson. He'll let this go deep for Lazard. This is intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore.
But to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline. And now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit. He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
2nd down, another run with Taylor. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for him.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. Got a man complete to Cedric Wilson. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you wonder, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
At the end of the first quarter, with the score, Ravens 7, Colts nothing.
Second down at 4. They give to Taylor out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. You don't see that a ton, do you? With a cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle.
And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And the Ravens are going to take over at their own 2-yard line. Well, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, not a gain that you're going to go crazy about, but when you start at your own 2-yard line, any type of space is good for the offensive guys.
Yeah, you just can't go backwards from here. They did it. Now we'll see if they can keep it on schedule here on second down. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Up the middle they go. Boom. And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Here's Jackson to throw. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20. Jackson fighting his tight end Andrews for the Ravens' first down.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. 36 yards on the play.
Running their plays over and over during the week can often get robotic for an offense, but on game day they can often flow smoothly, as that one just did.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense, because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense. You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
Looking to throw. Prescott. Working the sideline here. Did he get the feet in? Yes, they say that he did. Nice job tapping both of them down. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
Now a throw here to his running back, and they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 47-yard line.
On 2nd down, it's Taylor, and he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And they'll send the slot in motion left. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. On the sneak, it's Prescott. And he is going to have a Colts first down. At least it would appear that way. He didn't get it by much, but yes, they do get the conversion on 3rd and 1.
It's been a good drive so far. They just wanted to keep it going, so they call low-risk, low-reward play. No one's worried about picking up big yardage here. Quarterback sneak, keep the chains moving, and pick up another first down.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Prescott now. He finds his man, complete. That's Atkins. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. To throw is Prescott. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. And that's off the right upright, and it bounces away, no good. And they will not cut into that 10-point lead.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he's going to have a first down here as they're also into field goal range at the 28.
Well, they showed a 5-receiver set, had the backfield empty, and lined the running back out to the left. Plenty for the quarterback to process both pre- and post-snap, but he was able to find his man, and it turns into a big play.
And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. On 2nd and 2, Jackson. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. The slot man in motion right. 3rd and 2. Here's Jackson. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. And the Colts are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that third down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. Final play of the half. Prescott. Hit as he throws there, incomplete. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Fielded right around the 8. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
Prescott on first down. And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. John Johnson with the INT. And the Ravens are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line.
And that has to be a little bit discouraging, because after all their halftime talk, adjustments, and points of emphasis, their first drive ends with an interception. Absolutely aggravating if you're a head coach, because you spent all that time, gone through every situation possible, and it still ends in a turnover.
And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. They had 3 tight ends in on that set, and they were really good at blocking for their running back.
And give them a lot of credit, because in football nowadays, tight ends coming out of college often don't block very often. These guys have really developed into superior blockers, and that's why they use them in this formation so often. Now, that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, on maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Boom. And this This time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
On 2nd and 12, Jackson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now it's Jackson. That is caught. It's Bateman for a Raven touchdown. Rashad Bateman, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Ravens use the short field to get in for 6. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Kyle Hamilton picks it. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How'd you not score?
On 1st down. Boom. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. A great play there. His 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Tucker with the extra point. And the lead is now 24. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded right around the 8. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Up the middle, here's Taylor. Only a couple there, so he'll be brought down about the 28. Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now.
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to it. Finally held down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. The Colts send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This is taken at the 23. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They have picked up right where they left off in half number one, just looking really dominant, extending this lead. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And the Colts are going to take possession of the football. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. Running straight ahead, Taylor. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there, and now it's 3rd down and inches. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. It's a keeper with Prescott. And he is going to have a Colts first down, at least at first glance, as he'll spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 3rd and inches. Prescott to throw this time. And that's caught left side by Mo Alley-Cox. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Touchdown, Colts! Mo Alley-Cox, his first touchdown on the year. So they get their tight end away from the line to the outside, and he works his way in for 6.
Tight ends are not just blockers anymore. I don't know how many more times we need examples, but here's a great one. Gets to the outside, they give him the ball pretty quickly, and they trust him to get those extra yards, and boy, did he come through, bowling his way into the end zone after the nice catch.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field. And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
They go play action now. Jackson trying to lay one up deep. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Bo Melton, 81 yards. And the Ravens get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go.
And now here's another interception. Picked up by Jalen Armour-Davis. And he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown. Well, whatever adjustments they're trying to make over on that sideline, Charles, this defense, they just seem to be a step in front of them and not giving them a chance to implement any of those changes. And here, a pick six, and they widen the lead.
At least a step ahead, maybe even two steps. And right now, they are thinking hard about putting this opponent away. That turnover, it grew their lead and just totally deflated that offense. Now these next couple of series, you can take them out of the game entirely if you continue on this pace.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
Fifth catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. Throwing, Prescott. He finds his man, complete. It's Atkins. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
A gain of 18 on the play. First down, Colts.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
To the air again, Prescott. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Jalen Armour-Davis. And the Ravens are going to take over here up near the 40. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
After the interception, here's Jackson. He's going to let this one go deep. He's got a man, complete. They give him a gain of 38.
Even with the big lead here in the fourth, it still bombs away, and frankly, it's working. Why should they stop? Go ahead and keep firing away and gaining those yards.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Up the middle they go. Boom. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Jackson now. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A gain of 8 there on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd down in just a couple.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way. And really, we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
From the 4, it's 2nd and a couple. They'll try the left side. Boom. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1. Again, they're going to go with Boom. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Ravens look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Tucker with the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this 2nd half. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. And again, it's Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Taylor. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
And good yardage there on 1st down because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively, or it could have gone for more.
On the draw is Taylor, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give him 25 yards.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Now a give to Taylor. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Extra point by Sly is up and good as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the fourth quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need it. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Michael O.J. Mudia. And the Colts are going to take possession of the football. That is now 5 interceptions that he has thrown in this ball game. If I asked you to speculate what's possibly going on in his head, what would you say?
Well, if he's as mentally strong as I believe he is, he understands that not all of these picks have been his fault. You know, some of the throws, yes, but there have been a good number of them where he hasn't been helped by his own receivers.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Saints back at the 31. Dafe Owe make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack, just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him up to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Sly able to put this one through. And that will knock this down to still a very large 29-point deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They're in control here as they start 1st and 10, and appearing to have righted the ship following that 2-game losing streak. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Michael O.J. Mudia. And the Colts are going to take possession of the football. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Throw over the middle, going to be caught here by Mo Alley-Cox. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it's 2nd down.
We always hear from coaches how much they like to run crossing routes because they want to hit their receivers on the go, get them the ball, and keep them moving. How about when you hit a tight end that way? Okay, the receivers are going to run past you most of the time.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And the Ravens are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. I think it's safe to say this is a game he's not going to forget anytime soon, Charles. 3 interceptions.
It's rare that we see 3 interceptions by one team, let alone by an individual. And I think that after the second one, he's probably telling his teammates, any ball that's in the air, it's going to be mine. And that turned out to be true.
Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. That is caught, Rashad Bateman. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense